Welcome to Map News. I'm Sofia Zuluaga, and today we're going to discuss the Crusades. The Crusades were created because of a struggle for power over areas in the Middle East between the Christians and the Muslims. Both the Christians and the Muslims believed that they deserved the area because both religions considered the spots sacred to their religion. During the years 1096 and 1291, there were 9 Crusades. The Crusades set the stage for several religious knightly military orders, including the Knights Templar, the Teutonic Knights, and the Hospitallers. These groups were created to defend the Holy Land and protect the people that are leaving or going to the Holy Land. Natalia will elaborate further.
Thank you, Sofia. The goal of the First Crusade was to gain control of Jerusalem, and it was a military success. Called by Pope Urban III in 1095, the First Crusade set out from Constantinople. The siege of Nicaea began in early 1097 with the arrival of Arslan I and his Turkish army to relieve the city from the Crusaders' siege. The Crusaders had attempted to tunnel under the walls, which led to the collapse of the attempted tunnel and the defenders' successful reparations to the wall. The siege and eventual capture of Jerusalem became after the capture of Antioch. The Crusaders faced little to no resistance on their way to Jerusalem and sent envoys carrying the message that they will be spared if they did not raise any arms. On June 7th of 1099, they reached Jerusalem and took 5 weeks to forcibly enter on July 15th. Finally, on July 18th, Jerusalem had fallen and a massacre of Muslims and Jews occurred. When the battle ended, many knights went home, but others remained and ruled the Crusader states of Jerusalem and the surrounding areas until 1187. Out in the field, we have reporter Nicole with Bahamond I of Antioch.
Hello, Bahamond. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good. So, Bahamond, who is you leading the First Crusade?
I led a contingent of Normans on the quest eastward.
How were you able to go into Antioch City so easily? What was your plan?
You see, I was very persuasive with the Turkish trader, and he opened the bridge gate for us, and we poured our way into the city. It was brutal. We massacred thousands of enemy soldiers and citizens. We took everything except the city's fortified citadel.
What did you do then?
On June 7th of 1099, we reached the Holy City and started to build 3 enormous towers and completed them by the night of July 13th.
Why did you build these towers?
We built them so we could have a secure base because when we finished building these towers, we began fighting our way across the Jerusalem walls.
Did you capture them?
Yes, we captured Jerusalem, but then an Egyptian army came into the Holy City to challenge their claim. The Egyptians' defeat by our outnumbered Christians ended Muslim resistance to the Europeans, and then 5 Christian states were set up in the region under the rule of leaders of the First Crusade.
Wow, thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Now we have our reporter Miguel with Pope Urban II.
Hello, Pope Urban II. How are you?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm doing great. So can you give us some background on yourself?
I was born Otto of Liguri in 1042, and I was a protege of the greatest reformer, Pope Gregory VII. I was elected Pope in 1088 after displaying my ability to powerful and good leader.
Very interesting. When it comes to action being taken currently, what made you decide to make a speech to the Christians?
I wanted to preach how I think that we should own the Holy Land, and that it's not the Muslims' land to have.
And why is that?
Well, since the 6th century, Christians had made many trips to the birthplace of their religion, and when the leader Seljuk Turks had taken control of Jerusalem, all Christians were banned from entering the Holy City under any and all circumstances. I believe that it is an important thing for Christians to be able to visit, and it is unacceptable that they are banned.
I completely understand the agitation towards the situation. What are your plans on doing about it?
Well, I plan on reinforcing the power of the papacy and trying to seize the ability to unite the Christian Europe and fight to take back the Holy Land from the Turks.
And how do you plan on doing this?
Well, after delivering a speech to several hundred clergies and noblemen, it was clear that I wanted to stop the fighting from within and to unite together so we can fight the war alongside our fellow Christians to take back Jerusalem.
Wow, it must have been a very good speech.
It was very moving to the noblemen.
I bet. So what happened next?
Around 60,000 to 100,000 people had responded to my speech and were ready to battle and march into Jerusalem. We ended up losing many men due to the extreme training that these Muslim men had.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. We still got the victory.
Great interviews. Thank you, Nicole and Miguel. Now we're kicking it back to Sofia.
While Pope Urban was incapable of being able to witness the Crusaders capture the Holy Land, in 1099 the Crusaders successfully recaptured them. From a modern perspective, the likelihood of the First Crusade ever succeeding is considered improbable at best. Despite all odds, the Crusaders were successful, and thanks God for their success. Many Crusaders returned to their homes in Europe after the Crusade, but many chose to stay in Jerusalem. The First Crusade changed the religious climate. That's all we have for today. You can catch us reporting live every day on Channel 6. Thank you and have a good day.